Hello.
It's just you and me. Wait.
Here, I can only see. Oh, there you are. Okay. Hi. I wonder, okay, I had to let people in. I didn't know that.
I know, it's kind of weird.
It is different. So who do we have?
Sorry.
I'm here.
Hi, Shani. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Who else? Jennifer, Rachel.
Hello.
Two Rachels. Oh, and look, Rachel has her baby with her. Oh,
Oh, look
it.
right, baby.
Hi,
Oh my
baby.
cheeks.
She's so adorable.
Definitely has the brown eyes of dad. Yeah, those
Yeah.
brown eyes are hard to pass.
So cute.
Are you coming in from vacation?
Is
Rachel
that-
Holmes?
I am.
Aren't you the diligent one?
Well, I haven't been able to come to a meeting yet because I've been at college, so I thought, well, I might as well try.
Hey, well, we haven't done one this way either, so you're first on a more than one count here.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll probably be a little interesting, a little different. How has vacation been so far, Rachel?
It's been really nice. It's been very relaxing here. I don't know if you can see, but
Oh, pretty. So jealous.
yeah.
You're on the North Shore, right?
Yep, I'm in Grand Marais, Minnesota, if you know where that is.
Fun. Oh,
Very nice.
all right. So I want to say, oh, I gotta let another person in. I'm not used to having to let people in the meeting. Yeah, Emily. All right. Here, let her share this. Okay, so I think that we had a couple more people possibly coming, but if they come while we're already going, that's totally fine. Just wanted to say welcome to our first virtual meetup. I know it's been a really long time since we've all kind of been together. We have a lot of new faces here too, like Rachel Holmes never been to a meetup. We've got Katie. Shani's never been to one. I know Rachel Pell and Jordan both have. Amanda's been to one, but Emily McGuire. So a lot of new faces, and I just want to say thank you all for coming on. It's kind of just been a really crazy past couple of months. And the fact that we don't really get to see you guys every day, it is nice to kind of have a time for us all to talk together and just see how everything is going. So my plan for today, just gonna go through a little PowerPoint. We have a little training, kind of just check in about how like providing in-home care while parents are home has been going for all of you guys who have been working. And then at the end, just any questions, if you guys want to talk about anything, more than happy to do that. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen here for the PowerPoint. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, I just want to make sure because I've had issues with this in the past. So college sitters meetup. Is it moving for you all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna kind of introduce ourselves. I'll probably call on you all because I'm sure everyone's kind of in a different order. Just share your name, kind of what your role is here, and then a fun fact about you. And I'll start. So I'm Kayla, obviously. I'm the role model manager, and I've met all of you, if not in person, through our virtual orientations. And a fun fact about me is I'm actually living with my in-laws right now while my husband is on deployment. So I've been here for about 2 weeks. And it's been interesting, it's been fun. Definitely getting used to sharing like a parenting role with my in-laws. But overall, I'm really grateful to have some people to share this next upcoming year while he's gone with. So next, Jordan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay. I'm Jordan, and I am the recruiting manager, and I'm also a nanny, and I've also been a sitter and a tutor for the company. That's kind of how I started. And a fun fact about me. That's hard. I have like 2 toes that are kind of webbed, and it's a thing that's like in my family. As a fact.
Yeah, that's an interesting fun
That's
fact.
in my family too, Jordan. We have that
it's
too.
very,
It's
only 2 of them, and it's always the same 2. So
Funny. Jennifer, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Jennifer. I think I know who all of you are. I don't think all of you have had a chance to meet me. I usually come to orientation. Fun fact about me. I love to bake. And right now, I think I have 6 kinds of cookies in my freezer. I made a new one today. Unfortunately, I also like to eat what I bake.
Yeah.
But if you're ever in the area, you're welcome to stop by. I've almost always got fresh cookies here. I would bring that. Next time we're together, I will bring some, for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering when our next in-person meetup will be.
I hope the next one. I really do.
I agree. It's been a long time. Shani, why don't we start with you next?
Okay, I'm Shani. I'm kind of a nanny and sitter, kind of both. Fun fact, I don't know. I love to scrapbook, probably one of my most favorite things to do. And maybe just spending time with my son. He's 8 months now, so that's kind of fun, I guess. Whether being at work or being with my baby, that's my 2 favorite things to do. So
yeah, I remember when Finley was that age, that was like my favorite time because their personalities start coming out and they're crawling around and starting to talk. So it's really fun.
Yeah, he just started to sit up and now he's doing dada, so it's really fun.
Well, I'm glad you're here today. Go down the list. Rachel Holm, why don't you go?
So I'm Rachel. I am a nanny and a sitter. A fun fact about me, I like to travel. Like I said, I'm on vacation right now in Grammar Bay. In July, I'm planning a little weekend getaway to Duluth as well. So I'm excited for that.
Very fun. All right, Katie, why don't you go?
Hi, I'm Katie Lorenz. I'm in a nanny role right now, and a fun fact about me is I love to run. So I'm on the cross country and track team for Winona State.
Very cool.
Fun.
Awesome. All right, Rachel Pell.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm a sitter, but I haven't had a job in a while since I had a baby in April. And a fun fact about me is that I went to a lot of concerts and met a lot of famous people. My favorite one was probably meeting Dennis Lloyd. He's from Israel, and I also went to Israel in May of 2019, so that's pretty cool.
Very cool. And then Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I am a nanny. I haven't seen my kids since COVID, so I miss them much. I work at the U of M hospital. That's why I got in here a little late because I just got home from work. So
No worries.
that's fun. Yeah.
Did you say a fun fact? Oh yeah, you work at the U of M hospital. That's
I
fun.
work at the U of M hospital. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. How has that been going?
Up and down. A lot of codes at the beginning. A lot of strokes and stuff because the elderly get hit more with it, but it's kind of died down. The ICUs are full because surgeries have started up again, but other than that, slow stuff.
Well, I mean, slow is better than it being so super hectic, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, and then Emily.
All right, I'm Emily McGuire. I was nannying for a family for about a month and a half, but I'm going back to my preschool, so I'm more of just a sitter now. And a fun fact about me, I became a godmother at 16.
You
A
became
lot
a
of people
what
find
mother?
that kind of crazy. A godmother. And it's my godmother's son is my godson.
I thought you said a bad mother. I'm like, what?
No, a godmother. No. I hope I won't be a bad mother. I just have a first experience.
So you guys probably recognize.
Oh,
no.
cute.
So cute. And then I see Zandy. Are you there? Hi. Hey, so what we're doing right now is we've just kind of all gone around, introduced ourselves, told if we're a nanny, sitter, or tutor, and then just a fun fact about ourselves. So if you would like to go next.
Can I get you a hold on, Kayla, 1 second. I'm at a restaurant down in Colorado, and it's
Fine.
insane down here. Just water right now. Okay, thank you. And I'm also waiting for headphones too.
Oh, no problem. You do have like the option to like mute your own video if it's like kind of loud at the restaurant. So that just might be helpful.
No, it's okay. I'm just letting you know where.
Yeah. So do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Okay. I am Zandy. I am an on-call nanny and so a sitter. And a fun fact about me is I'm in Colorado for my brother's wedding.
Oh, that's a fun fact. How has your trip been so far?
Oh, it has been long.
Yeah.
I've been doing most of the driving.
Okay, yeah, that can make it much longer.
We're almost to Denver. So then after Denver, we have like another, I want to say hopefully like an hour.
Okay.
Not a little bit longer.
Okay, so you're kind of in the home stretch now.
Yes, we're in Colorado, Kayla.
We're in Colorado for my family and I are planning on going to Colorado for 4th of July.
Oh yeah?
The wedding is too.
I'm sorry, you
I'm sorry. Yeah, they're letting us stay at their. We have a family friend that's letting us stay in their apartment in Colorado. So a free place to stay instead of.
Hold on just 1 second. My earphones just came, so hopefully I can hear you a little bit better after this. Hold on 1 second.
Well, while she is getting her earbuds, we're just gonna kind of keep going because I know I don't want to keep you guys much longer than 8 o'clock. So I think I did this through since December. These are all of the people who have received a 5-star rating. So some of the people that are here, Emily M. We've got Rachel Holm, Rachel Pell, and then Shani as well. Trying to think. Oh, here they are. Okay, and then some 5-star reviews, which this is only like a little chunk. I kind of tried to do it based on the people that I thought were going to show up today. But I know Shani has gotten a lot of sweet comments from the families that she's worked with. I know
that makes me feel so happy.
Yes, families really do love working with you.
A little bit.
Yeah, especially like the Overson family. I know the Overson family has really liked working with Shani and Emily. Strathy family always kind of gives us feedback. I wish we got more actual like reviews from our families because we never can really see what the Buka families say unless we follow up with them. But I know that you all have been doing such a great job lately, especially given the circumstances. We've really appreciated having your availability set out far in advance, especially when it comes to like those Buka jobs. It helps us actually book them because a lot of families were looking for long-term care during these past couple of months. So helpful. Yeah, Buka, I mean, I've never worked one, but I can imagine it's fun. Like,
I think I've only worked Buka.
really? Yeah, I'm.
Because I was with that family and then school stopped, so then they didn't need the transportation.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of just on call Buka.
we probably had about 95% Buka.
Yeah.
The last couple months, and now we've got a couple new tutor students and a tiny increase in sitter, but very little, and then a couple summer nannies. But no, it's there. Even though people can go out now, we're still not seeing much right away of requests.
I want a nanny job so bad.
I do too.
I know.
Believe me, ladies, I'm promoting you at every opportunity. I know you do. In fact, I promoted you to a lead I talked to last week. Now I haven't heard back from her again, so we'll see. But I did promote both of you to this family last week.
Okay, fingers crossed.
I do. I figured the more personal information I can give them, the more likely they are to move ahead. So they all know your names and the whole thing.
Let's split it, right?
Yeah, sure.
No,
put a good word in for me. I'll put a good word in for you, and we'll get 5 stars all around.
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
No, but we are hopeful that it's going to start picking up with, I mean, I've gone out to a restaurant once, wore the mask, but still to kind of get outside. And I mean, these parents probably have to be pretty eager to get out of the house, do something fun for them. So we are pretty hopeful that soon we're going to see an increase in sitter requests. I know last week we did get a couple nanny inquiries. So we are hopeful, and we will try, we're going to keep you guys updated as things come in. But it has been a bummer that things have been so slow the past couple months. It's been weird for me, even because usually I'm like trying to staff things all around the clock, and now it's kind of like I don't know what to do.
Now you're waiting for your phone to ring like everyone else.
Kind of. It's really, and I know Jennifer and Jordan would say the same. It's just been so slow, unfortunately.
There's only so much you guys can do though too. So at least you guys are doing your part, and that's good.
Yeah, we are definitely advocating for you guys.
And I know with mine, I was like transferring, and then that all got mixed up. I don't know what happened there. I would like to talk to Jennifer and Kayla at the end of this.
Okay.
Regarding that, maybe we can figure something out after that. Yeah. But so everything was like on hold, and then all of a sudden it was like, now I'm not transferring, and now I don't have any jobs.
Yeah.
And so now I know I have one coming up at least. So I'm hoping to get more too.
Yeah.
Too.
So I know, and they've been coming in more frequently now.
Yeah.
So girls, fingers crossed, all of us will get bookings pretty soon.
Yeah, we can try to talk after the whole meetup is done. We can stay on and see.
Even if, we could stay on, or like a call too. I don't know.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
Okay.
So role model of the month is Rachel Home.
Congratulations.
I have been, honestly so impressed from the moment that Rachel started with the office. She's just so on top of her availability, communicating with me. Like I can send out a text early in the morning and I'll hear back from her almost like right away. Timesheets, I've never had to get on her about those. She constantly just receives awesome feedback from her families, and I'm so happy to say that we found her a position for this summer while she's home. I know that it's kind of been up and down this past couple months figuring out a nanny position for you with interviewing and families falling through, but I'm so happy that you stayed and kind of worked with us as we found you a position. So I just want to say thank you for your hard work. And I'll text you after this about like a gift card for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, of course. It's so well deserved, and I know Jennifer and the same.
Thank you.
And with us, Rachel.
I've been with you since around Thanksgiving, I think is when I started.
Yeah, it was I remember it was like couple weeks before. So you've been with us, 6 months now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
So just a couple quick reminders before we go into everything. So sickness protocol, if you find that COVID, it's kind of a different story. We'll talk about that. But if you find that you're just not feeling well the morning or the day before an assignment, we do want you to call the family first and let them know that you won't be able to work that day. And then while you're on that phone call, you're going to want to let the parents know that you've let the team know and that we're working on finding them a replacement. We basically want you guys to let them know first because they might have a grandparent or another family member who can come and fill in case we can't find somebody. So we want them to kind of be one step ahead just in case, because we don't want to leave them without care. And then after you hang up with them, call me and let me know that you won't be able to go to that assignment. And the same goes for like a nanny family or a sitter job, kind of rule of thumb. Timesheets must be completed the day or night of an assignment. I think that timesheets have been super awesome these past couple months, but granted, there hasn't been as many jobs. But just a reminder, just kind of do it once you get in your car after you're done with assignment or right when you get home, because after Sunday at midnight, you won't be able to go and fill it in for the last week. And Roger and I do try to get them done like Monday through Friday. I kind of look over those ones. So Friday evening, I'm checking it just to make sure everything's filled in. And then Roger does the weekend one. So we do want it done before that Sunday at midnight. And then
I love filling out my timesheets when the Buka kids are like standing right outside my like car door, like just staring at like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm talking about you. And they're like, oh,
we're very thorough with your timesheet. I will say that, very, very thorough, which is helpful.
And I feel like it takes me a long time to help, but we have so much fun that I want to add as much.
That's always a good thing. We do require a 2 weeks notice, just as any other job would. Just let me know if a family dynamic isn't working out for you, or you're uncomfortable with a sitter family that you've been working with. I really want that open transparency. We want to keep you, we want you to stay on your team, and we want it to be a flexible position for you too. So if anything's not working, just let me know. Happy to help out. I know Jennifer is too. Just let me know if you have any concerns. And then with COVID.
Can I add 2 seconds there?
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to say, we don't want to lose you guys over something we can fix or try to fix. And that's happened a couple times where somebody just said, hey, I'm done. And then they told us why, and they were done right away. They didn't give us a notice. And then we had no idea until then that there had been any issue. So please let us know. If there's a family that's at pain, we need to know about that. Yeah. But we also want to try to fix it or just move you to something else if that's
if there's
better
uncomfortability
option.
Or something.
Yeah.
I know I've dealt with some uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, and it doesn't come up very often, but we want to know. Yeah, we need to know.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
So with COVID, we kind of have changed the guidelines that we want you guys to follow. We've kind of been figuring it out as COVID has developed too. But what we want you guys to do now is always wear a mask to an assignment unless a family says otherwise on your introductory call, or if you work with a nanny family and they've already said you don't have to, then you don't have to. What's that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've been texting the family before I go and asking if they'd be comfortable with it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Especially if it's a family that you work with pretty often. Like I know you've been with person and you guys are probably pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, ask on that introductory call just to kind of make sure that they're comfortable. When you walk in, make sure you're sanitizing your hands or washing your hands when you get there. And be comfortable with a parent taking your temperature upon arriving to assignment. We want them to have that option, or if they ask you the night before to take your temperature, just to verify that you aren't sick. I mean, a lot of like nursing homes, places like that are doing that before they let anyone in. So we want the families to be pretty comfortable knowing that you aren't sick. And then on your timesheets, if you're a nanny, I really only need you to mark it once on a timesheet saying that you didn't wear a mask or if you did. But if it's a new on-call assignment or like any time you're working with an on-call family, please make sure you mention if you did or didn't have to wear a mask, just because we want to know kind of what their rules were while you were there. And feel free to add any other details too, like if they did ask you to take your temperature, add that in there. Or if there were any other rules they had you follow, just so we kind of know what you were doing that day.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't ask or like mention a mask, but they didn't either.
Well, if you show up in a mask, you can always ask them there. Worst case, if you don't know ahead of time, you can always get there. Kayla, I was gonna mention, we forgot the shoe thing on here. We were gonna tell people to take their shoes off upon arrival.
Yep, take your shoes off when you first get to an assignment too.
And wear clean socks. Like, that may sound really weird, but like, I have 3 kids that I've adopted from my sister, and like if a nanny or like a babysitter comes in with like dirty socks, but like takes her shoes off, but like has dirty socks, what's the point of taking your shoes off?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, sorry. I mean, wearing your shoes might be even a better idea. But so just, yeah.
That's a fair point.
I don't know, that's just kind of advice for me.
That's a fair point.
I came home from work one day and my son was like, Mom, you have like nasty socks on. I'm like, oh, okay, you didn't tell me before work, but now you tell me. Like, thank you. So, yeah, the kids know.
Yeah, good point. So today we're just kind of going to go through providing home childcare with a parent present. I had a little forum, I suppose, in the Facebook group for you guys to comment some of the things that you have faced while working with parents home. So at the end, we'll kind of go through those and see if we can brainstorm any ideas to how like it should be handled, or if anyone has any like recommendations or feedback. So I'm just gonna move this over here. So how do you care for children when parents are home? I've been there, it's tough. And as a parent too, who has grandparents taking care of my son, I've noticed some of the issues like that they're dealing with that I as a sitter would deal with, because my son always wants to be close to me. And it can be hard for the sitter to just distract him, get him out of the room or the vicinity of the parents working. And it's just confusing. Getting control is sometimes hard, and it honestly can be chaos. And a lot of the families, this is a new norm for them, getting used to this. So we want to make sure that we're providing adequate care while these parents are working from home.
And remember, these kids are used to asking their parents if something's okay. So like if they know their parents are home, they want to go to their parents to ask permission. Like that's one thing that I've struggled with. There was a little boy that was like, oh, I'm going to go ask my mom for a snack. I'm like, well, your mom just said no to me. And then he's like, oh, well, my mom said yes. I'm like, okay, so like just miscommunication between the adults. Because I did ask her if she said it was okay for him to have a snack. And she's like, oh yeah. But I'm like, you just told me that it was not. I think it was like she was waiting for him to come up and ask for one instead of me offering one, possibly. I don't know. But so that was one thing that I've dealt with, I know.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of brainstorm some resolutions to those issues at the very end. And this PowerPoint kind of gives some recommendations as well. So while we are providing care for parents who are home, our goal is to give that parent the time and the space to work and to make sure that you and the kids there are having a really fun time. So 3 ways to do this are to communicate and set boundaries, say goodbye, which kind of doesn't make sense right now, but I'll kind of expand on that, and then find ways to get busy with it. So communicating, I've got to move this over, sorry. Kind of the best way to get on the same page with the parents is ask a lot of questions, whether it's on that introductory call the night before or a couple days before, or when you first get there. Just ask a lot of questions. Do the parents want to be involved in kind of the rules and taking charge while they're there? Do they do they not want their kids coming into the room to talk to them? Get a really good idea of what their expectations are and make sure that you're meeting them. Trying to say, are there, like, even asking them, is there ever a time that you want to come out of your office during the day and hang out with the kids? Do you want to just be alone in there 24/7? Do you want the kids and I to go outside? Just really lay out the boundaries when you first get there.
I always ask about lunch. Like, are they gonna come down for lunch, or like, do you want me to make lunch? Like, what's for lunch?
Yeah. And I think if I were a sitter, I would automatically assume that parent, like, just going into time with that parent isn't really there shouldn't be any expectations of that parent while I'm there. I should be handling everything. So just to kind of see, is there anything they want to take over, or is it really all just on me while I'm there?
I've had a lot of like actually take a break and then come down and like, you know, make sure the kids are fine. I'm like that they're listening to me, like everything's going good. And I mean, I like that, like, because it's the parent and the child are connecting, but then I'm also connecting with the parent and fixing anything that needs to be fixed, or like communicating a little bit more about what they're expecting from me. If I'm not doing something, then they can be like, hey, like, let's like do Play-Doh, or like, let's color, or, you know, go outside for a little, like, you know, so like they can always give me a little bit of like what they would do, like if they were, I don't know, I know that like I'm in charge and like, you know, I'm babysitter or whatever, but like parents know the kids better.
For sure. And
parents are like, hey, like they go outside.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let's go outside. You know,
and I get to like ask
questions. Yeah, get the middle of the day, sure the rest of the day goes well too.
Right.
Yeah. So a recommendation that we give is have the parents kind of ease the transition by introducing you to the child. And obviously they'll be there when you're, especially with like those new Book families, they're going to be there when you're first meeting the kid. And together, you want to make it seem like you and that parent have made this decision that when the sitter is here, the sitter is in charge. Well, it should come from both the parent and you. So, because you're a new caregiver, they're probably going to listen to their parents more than you. And that's really normal. As a sitter, I've dealt with that. Even as a nanny, working for a couple weeks, I struggled with the kids just not listening to me. And it took a while because they wanted to push boundaries. They wanted to see what they could get away with me. So when the parent is saying, hey, you need to listen to this person, it is going to help a lot. And yeah, expect a few bumps. It's not going to be perfect, especially, sometimes with Book jobs, if it's like a one day, it might be a little rocky, but if it's a long-term placement, you're going to start to get in a groove, and the kids are going to see you as not like an authoritative figure, somebody that they need to listen to. And I do think that being consistent is really important, because if they see they get away with something, or they're able to go and ask mom and mom lets them do that, they'll probably continue to do that and push your boundaries. So making sure you're staying consistent and being on the same page with mom and dad is really important.
Kayla, could I add one thing before you go on?
Yeah.
I would say in my years as well, when the kids are used to their parents working at home, it's a little bit easier, but a lot of these parents, that's not the case. Yeah. So I would just say, don't hesitate to let the parents know if they're creating chaos. Pardon? Somebody say something? Oh, don't be afraid to let the parents know if they're creating chaos. You know, if they're coming into the kitchen every 40 minutes and every time they leave, the kids are upset, I would feel free to tell them, you know what, maybe we could organize your visits, because, you know, they minutes or is mopey or whatever. So that's the only thing I would say. Sometimes a lot of times parents think it's should be here for you because they're in the house.
Yeah.
And I always correct that perception and say, no, actually it's harder and a lot of people are not super comfortable with it. So yeah, I'd let them know if that's happening.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, just being really transparent with those parents too if you're running into any issues. So say goodbyes, like advice number 2. A consistent routine helps everyone transition a little bit better. So when mom and dad are going back to their office or they're going down to the basement to work, you're going to want a routine around a cheerful goodbye until that work day is over. So I found that during transitions, distractions are really helpful. So it would be a good time to take something out of your nanny bag, whether it's like your little coloring book that you have. I know some of you have little toy cars, if it's like a little boy. Stuffed animals are in there. You could say, hey, let's go outside and do chalk right now while mom and dad go.
Bubbles.
Yes, bubbles are really helpful. Just kind of, you're saying goodbye, it's time for mom and dad to go, but we're gonna go and do something really fun right now. And you're gonna obviously wanna leave that note, that last note with mom and dad, like cheerful. So say, Mom, we hope you have a really great day at work. And then it would be recommended to ask the parents to kind of say, yeah, I hope you guys have a really good day playing too. We'll see you at lunchtime or we'll see you in a couple hours. Kind of saying like, yeah, we're not gonna see each other for a little while. So it kind of sets the tone like, I'm not going to come up, you shouldn't come downstairs. The expectation is there. And then third, we want to get busy. So move this. We want to remove that temptation of being close to the parents. So sometimes this is hard. I know we've had nanny families where it is a little bit of a more closed space. There's parents, I mean, when a parent is home, they're not necessarily far away. So it's hard to set those boundaries, but try to find ways to get them distracted. Like I said, you have lots of things in your nanny bags to involve them with. You can take them outside and then return for like meals, snacks, assuming that the weather is really nice out. It's helpful that it's summertime now. It would have really sucked if COVID had happened in the winter and we would have all been stuck inside. At least now we have, I mean, we can go on walks, ride our bikes.
That would have been miserable.
Yeah, there's so many more options, which is really helpful. And organize fun projects at home. So one person who I think is so good at this is Emily McGuire. I love how she posts things in the Facebook group of the science projects she's done. I know the other day she set out, I don't know what it was. You put like, I don't know if it was like tape or some type of thing on the wall and kids could stick little pieces of paper on them.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It's paper at like for your like the cabinets, and it's just clear contact paper and painter's tape.
Okay.
It's something that I did at a daycare center that I worked at in college, and it's really fun for the kids. They love to make their own little art projects, but also for like really little kids, like a year or younger, it's also a good fine motor activity and use just using their fingers to put something in a certain spot. And they absolutely loved it. They still have it. They told me they still have their artwork on the wall.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you've gotten super creative with what you're bringing to, and that wasn't even a nanny family, that was a book job. And you constantly were bringing projects for the family to do, and that is recommended. If you guys see an idea on Pinterest, saw something on Facebook that you thought was really fun, bring the supplies.
I recently, sorry Kayla, I keep interrupting you, I apologize.
That's okay. I was just gonna say, if you ever need supplies, I know Jennifer has a lot of things that we can do in bags, but let us know if you think of a good idea that would be fun for all the sitters to have. We're happy to provide you with the supplies to do it.
I've just recently, for my kids, I looked up how to make like home Play-Doh, like do-it-yourself Play-Doh. So like it's okay if, you know, my daughter gets a little bit in her mouth because she loves to eat things. Or, you know, my, I don't know, son wants to get all in there, and and then it's safe for the younger one too, the 3-month-old, because it's just flour, really, and water. So
and I love that idea. The only thing is if it's something that's homemade, some kids do have allergies, so I would just make sure you check in with the parents before. Like some kids have allergies to gluten and things like that can be in flour. Other than that, I think that's a fun idea. And you could even ask the parents, like, if they have these supplies at home for you to do this activity too. Because a lot of parents just have flour and things like that laying around. But I love when our sitters take initiative and do fun things like that. It really breaks up the day for you guys too. When you're actually, because when the kids are having fun, you're probably having a really good time as well. And as always, like, one of our mottos is to find ways to leave it better. So just make sure you're cleaning up as you go while you're at the assignment. And get the kids involved in cleanup time too. So if you guys got toys out in the playroom and they want to go outside now, have them all clean up together and then go outside. Because we just want to make sure the house is tidy and how it was when we came there. So we're not leaving mom and dad with any additional work after work. So just really actively putting work into creating positive relationships with the parents will really help you guys have a good day. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done, especially if it's the first time you've worked with a family, but just try to really open that communication between you, the parents, and the children to make that day go a little bit smoother. And if you ever have any questions, or if there's ever anything you're struggling with while you're at an assignment, feel free to call me or give me a text, and I'm happy to kind of help you think of ideas and brainstorm ways to solve the problem together, because we want to make sure you guys are enjoying your time and not running into so many conflicts. And that's kind of why I wanted to go through this group activity where we kind of go over some of the issues that you guys have faced, because most all of you, if you've worked an on-call assignment lately, have been working with parents home, and it's a new norm for you guys as well. So I did the forum in the Facebook group the other day, and I got a few responses from you guys. And I think there was kind of like two main themes. And I think Emily's comment kind of sums it up. So she said, I'd say the two biggest struggles are keeping the kids from mom and dad while working. The kids always know that mom and dad are home and want hugs or just to spend time with them. And that kind of matched with Rachel Holmes' comment about one of the kids wanting, like, their parents were home doing home projects and she wanted to go see them. And then Zandy, what you said as well, like the parent would walk by and the kids notice them, they want to spend time with them. So it's kind of hard to set those boundaries with the kids, and maybe sometimes even with the parents as well. And then,
I have one.
Yeah, what's that?
I didn't see the comment, so I didn't get to put mine. But I had one family where one of the kids would go do something, and I'd say, you can't do that, and then they'd say, well, you're not the boss.
Yeah.
So I struggled with that, but mom and dad were so supportive and was like, she's the boss right now, even though we're not kind of here, but we are here. So that's the one I struggled with, was trying to explain to them more than once that mom and dad are here, but they're busy, so I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So that was,
I had that too.
Yeah.
And I think so in Emily also said, I think it's pretty comparable. She said, like, when the older kids, like getting the older kids to listen, if I told their 8-year-old no to video games, they'd say, you're not the boss of me, and then go ask mom and dad if they can play. And odds are mom and dad are going to say no too. You're following what the parents say, but it's still running into that issue of, while I'm here, I'm in charge. So I kind of wanted to see, we're going to use two of these scenarios and kind of see like how you guys would handle them. So the first one, keeping the kids from mom and dad while working. Like, do you guys have any ideas as to how you could make sure you're setting those boundaries? I know we kind of went over some of the resolutions, but is there anything you guys like have to add, or how you personally would handle that type of situation?
I can just say from my standpoint, and it helped that I was working with one family pretty consistently for a while.
Yeah.
For months until I went back to my school. But it was helpful to kind of have a real daily routine every day. You know, I came there at the same time every single day, and Mom and Dad always reiterated, okay, you know, this is her thing. Like even with their 1-year-old, if I wanted their, because we were trying to wean their 1-year-old off of having her pacifier all the time. Mm-hmm. So Mom even turned to me at one point and like, can I give her pacifier and give in? But kind of trying to set a real routine. Like in the morning we go home and they have lunch, and then just kind of making sure having a routine every single day. Mm-hmm. Really kind of helps to get the kids to kind of spend a little less time with Mom. And there are, you know, times during the day when Mom and Dad just randomly come up to them when they're not about or whatever, because their job isn't very consistent every day. They have phone calls and meetings at different times, so having set times for Mom and Dad to come out is a little difficult with that family. But just having those, like, okay, we're gonna go say hi to Mom real quick and give her a hug for nap time, and then we're gonna go to bed. Having stuff like that kind of a little bit, make it a little more comfortable with staying with me and, you know, watching a fun movie or playing in the water when it was a really nice day or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Ooh, 1 second. Yeah, Jennifer.
Sorry, I thought that was you. Interrupt you. I was just gonna say that when I talk to families and I try to check in with all of our families routinely, that is one thing that families really like is when, especially if you're there for more than a few hours, or you're there kind of consistently, they love the routine, especially if you take it upon yourself to do it, because most kids like structure too. Yeah. So some families have it down to that, you know, down to the quarter hour for you, what you're supposed to do every 15 minutes, but thankfully most of them don't. So I would just reiterate that, because families do really, that's something they specifically comment about.
Yeah.
One of the things that was also a struggle was, you know, especially with their youngest, they weren't really planning on, at least right away, they weren't really limiting her pacifier, just because her routine had completely done 180. You know, she's going to school every single day, and now she's home with all of these different sitters coming in and out of the house. So it really does help to have that routine every single day. It really helped while I was there to kind of try to do the same thing at the same time every single day. It really helped with the younger kids than with their 8-year-old.
Yeah. I think that's a really good recommendation, because kids really do thrive under structure and routine. I've noticed that with my 3-year-old. Ever since we moved to my in-laws, our routine's been really off, and the days have been a little bit tougher for him. And it's just, I mean, it's a whole lot for him to get used to too, which a lot of these kids have been doing. Some of them were doing online learning. Some aren't used to being around Mom and Dad all the time because they were at daycare. So being in this new setting is hard on them too. So to create that routine is going to be really helpful. And then so, what's that?
Sorry.
No, keep going.
And we as adults love structure.
Yeah.
We know we go to work at a certain time and we get off at a certain time. Like we come home, we have dinner, we go to bed to get up. Like, so just imagine being like tiny, but having all of these huge emotions that we have learned how to cope with and deal with and work through. They're little beings with huge emotions, and they're trying to figure everything out, and their brain is like being wired to like figure everything out, and we're here to help that wiring.
We're
help establish that wiring.
For sure. Yeah, I totally. So then,
one more thing I want to throw out real quick if I can, is especially with older kids, since they were suddenly no longer in school and not seeing their friends every day, one of the hardest things for distance learning is not being able to because they kind of, those older kiddos have a little bit more going on in the world right now. They know that they can't go see their friends because there's a virus going on that could make them sick. So it's kind of hard for them, you got to keep in mind that just because they're older doesn't make it easier for them. They have all these emotions that they don't understand either. Yeah. Kind of trying to be a little more calm, trying to
we have
that child to try to
figure that are hard to deal with.
Yeah.
So, that it was easier for older kids.
We tried to be a little bit more lenient on sometimes another way for them to interact with their friends. They can't interact with their friends in person right now.
Yeah. No.
So just something to keep in mind with older kids, that just because they're older doesn't mean it's easier for them.
For sure. Yeah.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean it's necessarily easier for us either sometimes.
And this is uncharted territory for everybody. Like everybody. I remember like on our calls. Yeah, we're just kind of all figuring it out day after day. So we do definitely have to give each child a little bit of grace.
One thing I want to say is one thing working in the hospital, we're all over it.
Yeah.
We're all over this.
I can imagine.
My mom's a nurse and she's just completely done with this. She's like, I'm so done.
Yeah.
She's over it.
So then scenario number 2, Emily said with the older kids, for example, video games. If I told their 8-year-old no to video games, they'd say, you're not the boss of me, and then go ask mom and dad if they can play. So is there any certain way that you as a sitter would handle it? Like Emily, do you want to talk about like what you did in that?
What I did was we were all in kind of very different. At the moment, the younger kids, I think that I can do because I'm interested in their 8-year-old was kind of out of that, out of that little games and toys scenario. So I usually made a deal with him when school was still in session. Kind of try to get his schoolwork done. With his mom and dad while he was doing his schoolwork because they, mom and dad wanted to be involved in his schoolwork and make that done. But as soon as he was done with that, I let him watch videos while I was listening to kids before I had the little kids watch their movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had him outside for at least 30 minutes while I was putting his younger brother and sister to bed, have him ride his bike, set up the kiddie pool so he can play in the water, do chalk, just whatever he wants to do to try to get some of that energy out. And then during nap time, I tried to do a little bit of one-on-one activities with him that were more his pace.
Yeah.
Playing catch with a baseball, playing football, throwing a frisbee, whatever, just to give him that one-on-one interaction that I know he was kind of lacking. Just being the older kid, he's not getting as much attention as his younger siblings were.
Yeah.
And then when we had like 30, 40 minutes of one-on-one time together doing something that he really wanted to do, then I would let him be on his electronics until nap time was over. And then we would do something all together. We would color, we would do a science experiment or whatever, something that both was kind of into, and the little baby was just, either still napping or having a snack or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And usually by that point, they all kind of did their own thing, maybe watched a educational TV show, something like that. Just to kind of break. I was just trying to break up the use of electronics. I was kind of he could talk with his friends over the internet, and so that gets him his interaction with his friends that he really likes. But I also talked with his parents, and we found a handful of friends that were willing to do a little bit of playtime once things kind of with COVID started calming down a little bit more. And that definitely helped, being able to go out on the boat with a friend and having one of his friends just come over for a couple hours. The friends that were comfortable with it really made a big difference. it's really hard.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like what it
a lot.
No, I like hearing because I don't really get to hear exactly how each of your days. Like I'll check in with you guys, but I'm not there for everything, obviously. So I like hearing about what's been going on. And I think like it comes down to setting those boundaries with those parents or working with the parents as to how you can fix that issue. Because odds are they probably want. No, keep going.
Having the support with the parents really helped. You know, them reiterating Miss Emily's in charge. She said no. Really helped, especially with their older son, who really thought he was too big to need a babysitter.
Yeah, and I think like what Jennifer said, like if you are feeling that it's not working out, be transparent with the parents. Ask them for help, or ask them maybe if they should limit their time with the kids. Just be really open that communication between the two of you to solve that issue, because when you are there, you should be the person in charge. And it's good to remember that it probably will be a little rocky to start, but it should get easier as they're familiar with you and you spend more time with them. So I think that kind of sums up the two biggest issues that I saw with everyone's comments. Is there anything that anyone wants to add to that, or any other issues they've been going through?
When I'm dealing with the technology or the just the activities that I feel are very mature for these children to be doing, whether it be songs or TV shows or whatnot. You know, because these kids are always talking about, oh, well, you know, have you seen the show, or have you, you know, heard this music? And I'm like, I have, but
yeah,
not, no. So I try now to let the parents know what I do as a parent, just like to set my boundaries, to let the parent know my boundaries for my kids. So if I ask their kids, hey, let's, you know, not listen to this music right now. Like, let's do something else. Or, you know, let's get off the tablet for a little bit. Or let's, you know, let's both of us be on the tablet instead of like them just being on the tablet. Like, let's play a 2-player game or like something, so they're not like glued to the screen and like not interacting. I mean, my son can sit on PlayStation 4 literally all day, and I'm like, it drives me nuts. Go outside. Like, so I send him outside. That's me as a parent. Me as a nanny or a babysitter, I'd be like, hey, let's go find some bugs outside, or let's go find some leaves or something. Like, let's go like search for something instead of like, let's just go outside. Because they're like, oh, I don't want to go outside. Well, I don't really want to go outside either, but I want to look for ants. So that's they're not in the house. You know, so it's, I mean, that's like, give a specific thing.
Yeah.
I found was helpful, even with my son. Like,
yeah, technology is hard because, like Emily said, a lot of these kids, especially school age, that's how they've been able to interact with their friends right now. So it's kind of hard to distinguish when's too much on the tablet, because they used to be able to just go outside, play with that friend. Now that's kind of the only time they get to play with it. But I think it comes down to asking the parents, what are your expectations with the tablet, or can they watch this movie? Knowing that beforehand, so you know how to kind of distract them, or like 1 hour's up, okay, now it's time to go do something like this. And like you said, distractions are really helpful, like coming up with an idea, because a lot of times if you just say
a specific idea, like instead of like, oh, let's go in this room, or like, you know, let's go count your cars, like let's go count your blue cars. Like, so they're like, oh, I wonder how many blue cars I have. Like, I know I have a ton of cars, but like, how many blue cars? You know, so then they know something new, and then they're learning and they're developing like certain areas, different areas, instead of, oh, I want to talk to my friend all day. Like, I'm sorry, I I'm not one for technology all day. I know some parents love it and kids love it. It's new, it's fun, it's, you know, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if I'm in, like if I'm like the authority, like I need to set my own boundaries with the parent, like, and I need to say, hey, I'm not comfortable with, you know, PG-13 movies for a 6-year-old, or like, you know, something where it's like I set mine instead of asking them theirs, because I might get uncomfortable in that situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there are definitely certain things that I know when I go through orientation, we talk about if the way a parent disciplines doesn't match with how you would or makes you uncomfortable, we can kind of figure that out together. So sometimes, yeah, it might not match, and that is something that I can work with you and the family with together if there's ever anything that's uncomfortable.
I mean, I haven't had any like families that stick out.
Yeah.
But I know that like one girl's music like stuck out. I'm like, that is not.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's not.
You know, I'll talk to you a little bit more, but it's, you know, and it was just something that I ignored, but it was like something that was like, I wonder if the parents even realized it, because I live such a different way.
Yeah.
You know, married to a medicine man, it's like we don't associate ourselves with the material things. So I'm teaching these kids and these parents about Native American culture and the way we live and like our values too. So it's like, I'm not saying everyone is like this. Like, I'm just saying, like, for me personally, this is what I've run into and this is what I noticed. So yeah.
No, I agree. What's that?
And they love learning. So they love learning, the parents and the kids. Like, what's a Native American? Oh, you mean Indian? Are we in India? No. So it's, you know, the difference between Indian, like from India, and a Native American Indian from America or Canada, or, you know, so that's always fun, seeing their eyes light up. Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You definitely get to like,
it doesn't if you're not right.
And I wanted to throw out real quick, just one more thing with the other thing that can help with breaking it up between fun time with the technology and like educational time.
Right.
And that was something that I dealt with out there that we also use at my school that are just so much fun. There's a song called Shake Your Hands that literally just has little kids starting to learn how to move different body parts. It starts with like wave your fingers, shake your hands, move your feet, move your shoulders up and down. Just getting it's kind of been in the way I have done that of mom and dad are going to work. It's time to start our day with Miss Emily. That like 8,000 times, and then it has a close your eyes, tuck your head, turn around, and it's kind of a really fun transition for them to do. And it's
kind of like Simon Says,
kids.
huh? No way.
Like, and it's Patty Shukla is the artist that I've been those two songs. But those are songs that it makes them get some of that energy out, and kind of mom and dad are starting to get ready to go downstairs and go on their work day. It's still technology, but it's educational.
Yeah.
Can you share
kind of a different form of that?
Can you share those?
Yeah, I sure can. I love the for you guys. There's some songs by Laura Brightly that some people kids and he's also up there as well.
I'm sorry, what was that artist name?
She does some Laura Berkner. It's actually Laura Berkner Band. They do some more gets the kids moving. There's a goldfish song that literally has like, it's like all of these little fish are doing, you know, sleeping on a rock, and then it's like they lift up their heads, they shake up their tails, and they they decided to take a shower, brush their teeth, ride their bike. So it's like, wait a minute, we're fish. We don't brush our teeth. Let's go swimming. And it has the kids swim around the room, and it's just out. Really like I have a family, the very first family that I babysat for. I played these songs for kids, and they actually texted me a while back because they still have my number. They're like, we still listen to these songs every day. It's kind of a fun add-on for the kids to do while I'm there, but also fun stuff for them to do with their family.
Right, and new things to do with their family and friends too. You know, getting the parents more involved in the
those songs for you.
Getting the parents more involved in the daycare, so to say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Emily, you should share those in the Facebook group.
And all of your activities.
I definitely will, because I have kids that when I've had kids that when they've gotten done with, you know, when parents are done with work and I'm getting ready to leave, they're like, Miss Emily, I want to show Mom and Dad the Goldfish song. Yeah. So I turn it on and they have me do it with them. It tires me out, but it's I love everything.
But it's good for them because they remember it and they enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember enjoyable experiences as a kid.
They're really good. They're the perfect songs for like rainy days when you go outside to get energy out. It helps to have on hand to get some energy out when they otherwise can't.
Yeah, I love that. I think it'd be awesome to share it in the Facebook group, especially for people who couldn't make it today, just to kind of see what other sitters are doing. And that's why I love the Facebook group, because sharing craft ideas. I know Jordan sometimes shares like ideas of things that you can do as well. Definitely helps break up your day when you have some fun things planned like that. But before I
found a lot of.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. A lot of the crafts and stuff that I found have been on Pinterest.
Yeah, that's kind of where I get all my stuff. Yeah.
Definitely.
But before we go, I just wanted to know, does anyone need anything? So do you need any sitter reports, any supplies for your nanny bags that I can get to you?
I do.
What do you need, Shani?
I still reports because it helps me like summarize what I did with the kids, and I think the parents appreciate it a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
And some supplies like art supplies, because I always find things on Pinterest but don't always like them. So I feel like that would be fun to have.
One thing that I just did 2 weeks ago. Actually, depends on what the family is comfortable with. We actually coordinated, me and Brittany, the kid's mom, and she got shaving cream and food coloring, and we mixed up those two things, and we made paint, or like swimming pool paint for the kids to play with. It was just a really fun texture. The kids absolutely loved it. It was a little bit messy, but super fun if your families that you're working with are comfortable with it. There's a couple of other things on Pinterest that I have seen that are like paints like that, like texture paint, but that are edible. So if there's other little kids that may put it in their mouths, it makes it a little bit more safe. But just fun stuff like that kind of goes with art, but also is a little bit different. They can just sit in the bathtub in their diaper and paint on the wall.
It's a little science-y too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's especially with little kids that are like, you know, still in that baby stage, you know, a year to 2 years. It's really fun sensory and texture activity for them to try. They really love sensory stuff like that. We always have a sensory bin at my preschool that I work at right now.
I was going to ask if you were in child development. Like infant, toddler.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I work right, the oldest kids I work at my school right now, 4.
And Kayla, I need reports.
Okay.
And then like Buka sheets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Buka postcard.
I think it's both.
What was that, Emma?
I could also use some more Sir reports and Buka.
I need Buka sheets too.
I could as well.
Okay, sorry, my Wi-Fi is terrible right now. So who can you just like raise your hand if you need Buka? Okay, Zandy.
Want us to send it in the chat?
Yeah, why don't or like yeah, let's do it. For whatever reason my Wi-Fi is being slow. So can you just
Why don't you do a survey on the Facebook page? Who needs stuff?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Oh yeah, you could do like a poll thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that after I hang up. I'll just put a poll in there and you guys can let me know on there. Does anyone have any other questions before we get off?
I just want to take a picture.
Yes. Yeah, Jordan's gonna take a picture of us all smiling.
Oh, you, I look gross.
No, it'll be cute. It's for the public page, so I'm gonna stop sharing.
Expecting this.
Here we go. Hold on. All right, everybody smile.
Did you get it?
Oh, I want to talk
All right. If no one has anything else to add, I think we're all set and done. Feel free to text
Kayla about me about the transfer and what happened.
Yeah. Are you possibly available tomorrow to talk?
Hold on, Kayla. My husband's right here. I apologize.
Kayla, the only thing I had for you, I haven't heard anything about the dolls. Do you know anything about the dolls?
So not yet. Jennifer is scheduled to follow up with them this week. We haven't heard anything on their end, so hopefully with Jennifer kind of prompting them, we'll have an answer for you. Okay. I'm guessing they're kind of schools.
Okay. Only thing too, I know you guys said about like date night, something for them. Just text me because
yeah. I'll follow up with them. And honestly, feel free because you're their nanny. If you want to be like, hey, I'd love to see the kids soon if you guys want a date night, feel free to follow up with them in that way too. And I'll kind of prompt them, see if they're interested as well. Just because I know it's been so long since you've seen their family. Yeah. I can imagine it's been hard for nannies being away from the families they were with every day.
If any of you have a chance to work with the dolls, they're getting amazing. The little boy's disabled and they're amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
If a family that ever go on to college nannies looking for another sitter, and I told them to, you know, that they could let you know, Kayla, if they ever want to have a date night or whatever, so I can maybe go back and see the kids. But if any of you ever have a chance to work with the Weidells, their kids are absolutely adorable.
Yeah, I hope they follow up with us and sign on. It'd be nice to have them as one of our families. They seemed really sweet.
They're a really great family.
Does anyone have anything else? Pretty good. All right. Well,
I'll probably try to go on to the page soon and get those videos up for you guys.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I will, after this, I'll post a poll in there, see if anyone needs anything. Hopefully we're together soon, maybe August, September, for an actual meetup in person. If not, it'll probably be another virtual one just to check in with everybody. But I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, bye.
Bye.
So Zandy,
Yes.
is it all right? I mean, did you want to, like, do you have a lot to talk about the transfer? Like, is there a lot? Because it sounds like they weren't.
I'll be done shortly.
I know you are, but they don't want me here. So I'm telling you.
They don't want you here.
They don't want me around. I understand. There's nothing wrong here.
Okay.
You buy.
Sorry.
Listen, buy me a lemon meringue pie, and you get whatever you want for pie to take out and go.
Okay.
And give that waitress that let you in there. They didn't really. That's what they didn't want you. But that one who advocate. So that one who got to this place, you give that to her.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, Kayla.
No problem.
Emails. Okay, so the reason why
Is it okay
Alyssa
if
said,
you call me?
yeah.
My Wi-Fi is just super sucky right now.
Okay, yeah, I'll call you then.
Call me my cell phone.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.